Hi everyone, welcome back to Face It with Dr. G. I'm Dr. G. It's been a minute since we've had this podcast, and I'm so excited to reintroduce the podcast after a break and have Danielle Kobus with us here. Danielle Kobus. She is an amazing nurse practitioner that joined our team, how long ago now?
7 months.
7 months.
Wild.
Time is flying.
Literally.
And I will let her tell you everything about her, but she came from the Bay Area.
San Diego.
Oh, see, I don't know. San Diego. I thought that was the Bay Area.
Close enough.
San Diego. And she came back to Massachusetts because her family is here, as well as her husband's family.
Mm-hmm.
And relocated, left her practice that she owned and operated in San Diego, and is now settled here and joined GFace. And I want to hear the story. I want to hear everything about that transition and let you take it from there.
Yeah.
So tell us.
Yeah. So, like G said, Dr. G, I had a small, teeny little practice. It was just a one-man show in San Diego, but I was thriving there and it was great. I had a great patient base who I was working on referral only because they trusted me, and it just felt really good to have that. But my 2 boys, they're now 10 and 11, kept begging us to move back to be closer to family. So we decided to take the leap and do that. And in that decision, I had talked to somebody that I worked with to build my practice in San Diego about whether or not I wanted to build a practice out here or if I wanted to join a practice. And at first, when I decided, you know what, I don't want to put in all that work, my boys are going to be really busy, I want to have some time for family too, I was kind of going whoever would take me, whoever was on Indeed.
Lucky enough to have her.
Yeah.
Whoever was lucky enough.
And then I just didn't get the best feeling when I was talking to these places. Nothing bad to say about them. There's just a certain level that I wanted to be at with joining a practice. And so I spoke with who I was consulting with, and she said, you have to join GFace. And I was like, okay, get me in there. How do I get in there?
Yeah, and I just think your story is fascinating because to transition from owning a practice to then working in a practice, it's a different mindset, and it takes courage, and it takes, relinquishing some control over things that you used to have, coming into a new practice, new people, new culture, new techniques. And at GFace, we've put all of these policies and procedures and standards into place that we like to really, hold ourselves accountable for, but then also have flexibility because she comes to the practice, has all of this expertise and history and experience, and we want to learn that too. So how do we do that, right?
Yeah.
How did you feel when you came into GFace at the beginning, and how was your transition to where you are now?
When I first came, I've told you this so many times, I knew I couldn't come in guns blazing. I owned my own practice, I'm top dog. It doesn't work that way. And as somebody who wanted to come in and be a leader, I needed to show that and be an example first and kind of win everybody over first. And
It's not hard to do.
No, it's not. But
amazing.
I really appreciated how you said, you know what, I know that you're an NP, but I'm going to onboard you like everybody else. And I knew in that moment I needed to prove myself, but I like a challenge. So I was okay with it. But I appreciated that so much. That tells me so much about how much you appreciate your team, and I wanted to be a part of that. Yeah.
If you showed up into a practice that was a mess and there were no policies, no systems, no structure, you'd be like, what am I doing here?
Mm-hmm.
I ran a practice, I know how to do this. And then now you've transitioned into being a mentor and a leader and soon to be clinical director of the South End, which is allowing her to use her entrepreneurial skills, have that independence, she'll have measurables and goals on how to grow this location that we're opening, and the timing has worked out just beautifully. And I say thank you to her for being flexible and being patient. At the beginning, it was like, I want this now, I want this now. I'm like, what's coming? But that's when we transitioned to communication and just open communication and allowing people to know the trajectory. So there's many different pearls, I think, in this story.
Yes.
What would you think, you've already talked about, what was, I guess, potentially the hardest thing when you transitioned. What excites you the most about the future?
I just love GFace. Like, I love what we stand for. It's interesting because just recently I saw on Instagram a post from a national trainer, and it said that she trusts the smaller boutique injectors because she feels like they hone in on certain treatments and certain procedures, and they're not this big factory of just pumping out patient after patient after patient. And that was one of my biggest things. I didn't want to walk into that factory. I didn't want it to be all about numbers, although the numbers are great. I wanted to be genuine. I wanted to build relationships with people I work with my patients, with everybody, and I feel like I can do that here. And it's just, and I'm learning so much more. Like, I don't sit well stagnant, and that was a big reason why I said, you know what, I don't want to build. I need to learn more from somebody else. Like, I was by myself and I just wasn't learning, and coming here I learned so much in 7 months. It's been incredible.
What's the thing you're most excited about learning? She just told me about it.
Ultrasound. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
I learned so much in NP school, and it made me go back to primary care for a little while I was owning my own practice. And I love that side of medicine and that side of my brain too, because this is medicine, but you're using a lot of artistry too. But the ultrasound brings it all together for me, and that is super exciting.
Yeah, and it's not going to stop there. There's new technologies, there's new ultrasound machines that we're evaluating and seeing how they fit into aesthetics. There's new potential softwares that are being developed, and we are a team of collective brains and individuals that want to keep learning and want to grow, and I want to fuel all of their creative juices. And if they just want to see patients, then they can just see patients, but that's really important to us here, and we're so happy to have you, obviously, and you're just amazing. But I think that it's important for people to hear that are in aesthetics, that own their practices, that maybe then want to say, I want to get rid of this, I want to go to another practice, and really understanding what's important to you, what drives you, what type of culture and environment do you want to be in, and if it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit, right? But holding true to your standards and values is really, really important.
Yeah, it also helped for me to get back into that leadership role too, which is, I love teaching and I love seeing other people succeed and building them up. And
yeah, she's taught me a lot, so I think she's my new mentor. But truly, we all work together in such a beautiful way. So follow her on Instagram. What's your Instagram?
Danny GFaceMD.
Danny GFaceMD. And thank you all for listening to this brief podcast. We're going to get back into the rigmarole and get information coming to you weekly, hopefully. So like, subscribe, share. We can't wait to see you again next time.